Welcome back to Butterfly Suite. We are going to listen to Sister Angela C. Davis. Now, what are you going to recite for us now?
Oh, this one is called What I Want My Girls to Know, and it's a little bit about just basically how I feel about them and that I'll just basically do anything for them, you know. It goes like this. In the event of my demise, it was undeniable that I left here trying to rise. Granted, it was many times that I cried, all because situation was built on lies. Some I had no control over, but still I tried. As long as my kids knew I did it all for them. Didn't want them to have them split up with different family in them. I want them to know I looked it fearless when it was times I was scared as hell. Did I put up a good front? Were they able to tell? I lived for them and never through their eyes did I want them to see me fail. Straight up no chaser, even if that meant put up for bail. I'm all these girls got, and some try to make me continue a generational cycle. Oh no, you're not. So if that means I have to fight for the rest of my life, then so be it, because I know I was doing right. And yes, there was many times out my back I pulled out a knife. Though yet still in all, I'm still standing, cause I believe in my heart it wasn't mine but God's planning. Can't help if anyone ain't feeling this right now or understanding, cause at the end of the day it's just 4 deep, and 4 deep are my kids, including me is 5, but only 4 do I make my biz. So as long as I protect them, then I'm cool, and trust and believe I will make it my duty not to look like a fool.
One thing I can say, I can say a lot of things. Like I said, when I see your girls, it's always, hi, they give me eye contact. I never hear them yelling. I was sending these, because some of these kids around here say more than a little bit, and I'm like, wow. Did your mom just sit you in a room with Richard Pryor and George Carlin CD and just tell you to just have at it? I mean,
right.
And I hear it with my son sometimes, and I'll be like, dude, slow it down,
right.
Slow your roll. But I can say that your girls, when I see them, they're always put together. I see them, and like you said, them being together, they are solid. They are like, look, if something go down with one, I already see it, and they're like, mess with one, you gotta do. And if you gotta get up to Queen Angela, then it's really gonna be a problem. But let's just settle it. Let's just settle it right here before it gets to that point. Right. But they're always respectful,
And that goes from a long way. I mean, my grandparents, they started that, and I God rest their soul, R.I.P. But they taught me that, you gotta be respectful or whatever. It's time. I mean, some people, I'm not even gonna lie, I done disrespected some people, but it's a time and a place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. You gotta get respect to give respect, Mm-hmm. And I come at people with respect first. Now, if you cross 4 deep, then it might get iffy, But I don't go out there causing trouble. And like I said in my poem, I'm all my kids got, If I ain't gonna do it, I don't believe nobody else would. Not the way I do it, and that's with anybody. Nobody's gonna do your kids like you do them. Nobody's gonna love your kids like. There may be some people, I love your kids. They're not gonna get that love like a parent should love them from anybody else, And I try to teach them with respect. Respect goes a long way, And I make sure that they do that. Yes, thank you. Please, and everything else. And like I say, I tell them all the time, I don't care if you hear me call a grown person 30 names, but when you see that person, they speak to you, you say hi. That has nothing to do with you. I see so many times that people put kids and stuff, just because me and you have a disagreement don't mean your kid has to get into it or whatever. That's when the respect thing, and then that's where we're losing respect too. Putting our kids and stuff, telling our kids our problem, and we're mad at that other person. And I tell my kids, that's in an adult. If adult speaks to, all you have to do is speak to them. They say hi to you, you say hi. You don't have to look all cross-eyed and everything else. Say hi and keep it moving. I have the rest, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you have to go to their house or anything, but just be respectful. It goes a long way,
I think it's important that we try to keep kids in kids' place. I mean, unfortunately, I know that I had a young lady that was staying with me. She had a 4-year-old, and my son was 13 at the time. And my son, he will go in the kitchen and burn up the kitchen. He'll go fix something. You know, I want to go fry some chicken and make some French fries. Mom, you want something? You know, I've just developed that in him because, for one, I wasn't going to be his short order cook for my whole entire life. And two, you know, there's going to be times where I don't feel like doing stuff. Like a week and a half ago, I could barely move. And I told him, you know, you go in there, fix this, the ingredients, shelf, boom, 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 and I'll try some after you fix it. You know, and she, at the time, found conflict in that because she went to my other friend, which that stirred the pot with me, and all love to you now, but, you know, she went to her, I just don't understand why he's just too independent. I just don't get it. I'm like, the boy is 13.
Right.
If he's just waiting around for me to cook, he gonna wait for a minute. He's gonna have to do these things for himself.
Right.
Kids need to know life skills.
Exactly. Soon, and that's good. You know, for two ways. I mean, he gonna have a woman that love him, or not, but he's still gonna be able to take care of himself.
Exactly.
You know, and so he don't have to sit and depend on that. And that's we need to show our kids little responsibilities, just like my 3 little ones, 3 little bears. They make sure that I make them clean their room and everything else. I might come behind them, but you guys are going to do the gist of it. You're not going to just sit around and not be able to do anything. You know, years pass by before you know it. I'm a 15-year-old now. I remember when my baby was 2 years old, and I'm looking like, where did the time go? But I also taught her some life skills and are still teaching her some life skills, because before you know it, she has 3 years before she turns 18.
Exactly.
You know, and I'm not saying that I'm going to just boot her out or anything, but when they get to that age, you know, when they get to that age, 18 and everything, if I didn't teach her nothing and I'm trying to tell her something, she might want to leave, you know.
Yeah.
And then if I didn't never teach her nothing, she's going to be out there and the world going to smack her in the face. And that's what I'm working on, so that way she'll know what she needs to do. As far as job, you need to work, you need to clean, you need to, you know, take care of yourself. And we just give our kids little responsibilities as they grow up, and you know your kid, you know what they can take and what they can't take. They run around. I remember this, and your parents probably said that if you can learn that song, you can learn your grades. Mm-hmm. If they're singing that song, learn that song in 30 minutes to an hour, 2 days, or whatever, then you can do some stuff, you know.
Or if you know when this cartoon's coming on.
Exactly. And you know
should
the time.
Know to make your
Exactly. Exactly. If you can learn all that, then you can learn some life skills.
Exactly.
You know.
Because it wouldn't be a benefit for us to send our kids out without knowing certain things. Like, I didn't do it early, but I'm going to do it here soon. I'm just going to get a checkbook, and I'm just going to just give my son a quote-unquote blanket account and have him start deducting and, you know, rationalize that, because I had a family member. I love her to death. I'm not going to call her out. But I remember like 3 years ago, we had a conversation. She said, well, you know, so-and-so and so-and-so didn't show me how to balance a checkbook. So I'm like, whoa, okay, well, you know, at first I was like, well, you're grown now, you should know that. But then I had to sit back and like, wait a minute, well, if they would have taught you, maybe things wouldn't have went the way they did, or maybe they could have still, but at least you would have had that lesson that was presented to you at that time. So, you know, I want him to know that, you know, when money run out, you know, as far as you know, your count is withdrawn, bro.
Right.
You know, what can I say that?
Yeah, you gotta learn. They gotta learn that at an early age. They can learn that at 4, 5, and 6. Mm-hmm. Money do not grow on trees. You have to work for it, and you have to do things for it. And so, you know, it's just not. We could just go get this. We can't just go do that. We're not Bill Gates, Oprah, or anything like that.
You know,
so
I'm not sitting with the silver spoon in
right?
their mouth.
It's real life.
You know, I'm not sitting on old money. You know, I mean, if you want to count 40 acres and mill, then we still waiting.
Right.
And you know, by now it's like 4 acres and half a horse. So, you know, we got to build within ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's something that you can't just leave that to chance with kids. And I try my hardest not to put in too much in an adult place, but my son, like you said, my son is like 4 months away from being 15. He's talking about cars. He's talking about, okay, when I grow up, this is what I'm going to do. You know, I'm going to have to just get this car. So, okay, you know, it takes money. You know, it's not something that you just go to a bank account and just take money out and it's just going to be endless waterfall of money. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
Life is not a game show. We would like to think that it is, because in that case, then all of us are trying to make a deal. But the truth of the matter is life is what we're making it. And, you know, whatever step or whatever approach we do, it not only impacts us, but it impacts the circle around us. It impacts our truths around us. That's just like if we go outside right now yelling F the world, it's going to affect somebody in this area. They're going to hear it and they may, you know what, I had that feeling too. I feel like I should screw the world too.
Right.
Or if we go out and say, you know what, I love you, I don't know you, but we have to live here, you know, that should affect too. Now, most people would shy off of that because they feel like, okay, this person seems kind of weird. But the truth of the matter is, we all have to be on this boat at the same time. And that's how we make it pleasant.
Right, and that's what we should do, is be going out and telling people that they love you, because like you said, people might shy off from that. Because I'm going to give you a prime example. When I was younger, I had a lady that's still in my life that I really look up to. She told me that one time after we got off the phone, I love you. And I'm like, what? You know, because I never actually heard that. And she kept saying that, and she kept saying that. And she's the reason that I'm able to tell my kids that, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rhonda, you know. But I'm able to tell my kids that, you know what I'm saying? And that really sticks with me till this day. Because maybe if she wouldn't have never said that and kept pushing that issue, I might not have been able to say that to my kids, you know what I'm saying? So
or speak to anyone for that matter.
And so we do need to say that to people sometime, you know what I'm saying? I love you, or, you know. And if you don't hate a person, then you love a person. It's not no, you know, in between. That's how I feel. I mean, you know, strong like it ends up to be love, and you can love somebody off the street as long as they never did anything to you. And then sometimes people need to hear that I love you, because they can be like me and never really heard that. Not saying that my family didn't love me, because I don't believe that, but it was just never something that was so broadly said. You know what I'm saying? And for her to tell me that and kept telling me that and pushing the issue, that really made me see that I am loved, and somebody do love me. You know, exactly. And still to this day, and I did a lot of things or whatever that pissed her off, but she still loved me. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. And so I truly believe that. So that does go a long way to tell someone that you love them. You know.
And that's a shout out to my truths. I've already made one just within the last couple of weeks that me and Angela been talking. Angela's are true. I know that, hey, if worse come to worse, hey, you know what? I may have to call on you. Look out, such and such, such.
Right, and I'm here.
And it's there. And that's what it's not. We're not two catty women. There's no time for that.
Right.
There's no time to be bumping heads and. I can't stand that person right there. I mean, if you have a problem with a person, please address it with them. Don't let it fester, because you just, like I said earlier, I can't stress enough, you just hurting yourself. And those other people around you have to deal with the BS. So be motivated by just love, and just know that, hey, we all get along. Like I said, it was so cliche. Rest in peace, Rodney King, when he used to say it, you know, but now, seriously, can't we all just get along?
Right.
I mean, we all have to live on this planet. I know Kat said, you know, about, you know, going to another planet and stuff. You know, hey, if that's what the future holds, then that's what the future holds. But while we're still here, we need to do what we need to do while we're here.
Right.
So
forgive and not forget.
You know, and you got to keep growing. You know, every day's a lesson.
Exactly. You
know, it's just if you're willing to accept it or not. I got a lesson today too. Wasn't too willing to accept it, but you know what? I accepted it, dusted my shoulders off, and kept going.
And that's how you gotta be. I got a blog that say that too. The truth only hurts when you're not willing to accept it, you know. And so therefore, when you accept it, then it shouldn't hurt, you know. And just, if it's true, embrace it. True. I know it might sting a little bit. I done got stung. I done got black eyes from the truth so many times. But once you embrace it, then no one else can hurt you with it, you know. So that's. Just got to do it that way.
Exactly. So I want to thank you guys once again for joining us for the show. We are going to have future shows. There's a group panel coming up. Y'all stay tuned for that.
Right.
Thank you for the support. Thank you for all my truths out there. Thank you, Sister Angela C. Davis. Please check her out. She's on my Facebook page. Everyone, go to someone that you don't usually talk to. Just say hi. Say hello. Let them know you're thinking about them.
Right.
All smiles, okay? Take care. One.
Hello once again. I would like to thank all those who continue to encourage, push,